into the cage, fighting out of the blue corner. Give it up for Ikram Aliskerov. Into the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Give it up for Chad Hanekom. Federation's first fight of the night. 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Let's meet our first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 4 wins and no losses. He stands 185 centimeters tall and weighs already 184.5 kilograms. Fighting out of KHK MMA in Bahrain by way of Dagestan, Russia. Give it up for Ikram Aliskerov. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 4 wins and no losses. He stands 187.96 centimeters tall and weighs already 83.7 kilograms. Fighting out of Fight Fit Militia out of Johannesburg, South Africa. Give it up for Chad Superman Hanekom. Your referee is Paulo de Oliveira.
Yeah, it's funny, we're actually hearing boos. Apparently, the Jordanians are behind our KHK MMA product here in Ikram Aliskerov. Of course, KHK MMA, the vision of Sheikh Khalid bin Hamid Al Khalifa. So, you know, I mean, apparently they're going with the KHK guy because they're actually booing Hanekom here. Big matchup here. Paulo de Oliveira will be your referee, and this fight is brought to you by Unaya, which is Jordan's fastest growing and most trusted telecommunications provider. And here we go, Carrick, right out of the gate. No touch of the gloves, unless I missed it.
You didn't miss it. There's no love lost here.
No, you really didn't see it in the face-offs, but these guys are all business. There's no need to play friendly here as they kick things off here in round 1.
Fighters are feeling each other out. Within the first 60 seconds or so, you're going to see somebody try something explosive.
Now, if we flash back to Brave 9, back in November, Jeremy Smith was on the other side of Ikram Aliskerov, and Aliskerov, he closed distance very quickly, and he really went after it. Going to be interesting to see if he kind of puts that same pressure on Hanekom.
We may have just seen Chad's strategy. He did a calf kick. He just did it again. It's one of the new moves in this sport. He may be planning to drag this out a little bit and chop Aliskerov's legs out from under him across 5 minutes or so. Wait for him to do it one more time, and then you'll know it is a fact.
It's something we see time and time again out of this camp. They're very smart. They take every fight as a unique fight, as a unique situation, and every fight has a different game plan. And you better believe that they've definitely formulated up something here for Aliskerov.
You've seen the third calf kick in the first 60 seconds of this fight. They absolutely the strategy you're going to see here is a mixture of right low kicks and then right hands. He's trying to set up the right hand to the head with the right hand to the body. He's trying to draw the Russian's mind away from his head. That's his ultimate intention, but along the way he's going to try and chop that leg down.
Aliskerov trying to go high and missing. Great movement here from Hanekom. Aliskerov putting on the pressure. He's not really backing up at all. He continues to come forward, and that always looks good in the eyes of the judges. That being said, Hanekom, he can explode at any time.
Chad, Hanekom needs to think just a little bit more about what his opponent is doing. His mind is utterly wrapped up in his game, and he's doing a good job of it, but his hands are a little bit low. I can see him catching a big shot within the next minute or two.
The crowd here in Amman, Jordan is something special. You hear the drums, you hear the crowd, and there's not even a Jordanian fighter in there. That's how excited they are. There's a spinning kick to the body that just missed. And we talk about that Dagestani culture, talk about that hard-nosed wrestling culture that they breed up in Makhachkala. And you're seeing that right now. And Hanekom puts him on his back, doesn't follow up. Aliskerov got up very, very quickly. He sprung up quickly. Hanekom didn't get a chance to get on him.
Cyrus, that was actually pretty incredible. It reminded me of the NBA video that you showed me yesterday. Showed such disdain for his opponent, he put him on his back and said, nope, let's keep it standing. I'm having a good time.
Exactly. Put him on the ground and just look at him for a minute. But right now, this is Aliskerov's world. He's going to push him up against the cage and try to bring him to the ground. It's going to be easier said than done. And it seems to me so far that Hanekom's having no problem with that weight cut as far as any strength. Doing a great job of fending off a very, very talented wrestler.
I don't think there's any strength problems at all that we're seeing here. I think Aliskerov actually felt that strength, and that's why we're seeing a fight up against the wall now. I don't think Aliskerov wants to stand and trade for the remainder of the round.
Aliskerov continues to pressure up against the fence, and a lot of people don't realize it, especially a casual fan, how much pressure and how much strength it takes to hold somebody up against that fence, and that clinch is just such a strenuous tactic. It just zaps these guys of energy just trying to hold each other up against that fence.
Wall fighting is unfortunately sometimes viewed by fans as an area of no technique, but it's actually a very significant part of this entire sport.
He went back to the legs again, and it kind of nearly staggered Aliskerov here as we're more than halfway through round number one.
That was the 6th calf kick so far that landed. That's the 7th. You can see heavy bruising across the tibialis muscle already. This is going to be a very long night for Aliskerov unless he can get it either down to the ground or at least up against the fence.
Looks for a spinning back elbow and misses. Aliskerov is looking for a takedown, but it seems to be he's going to have no luck once again. Hanekom just too tough to take off of his feet.
It was a terrific move by Hanekom. There's a risk reward in this sport, and he showed big risk by taking that spinning elbow, but he didn't have to pay for it.
This is just kicking off this incredible card. And as Kirik alluded to earlier, this fight could be a main event anywhere. Two undefeated talents. One guy based out of Russia, one of the toughest areas of Russia, and then South Africa's Chad Hanekom here. And we are just getting started. Remember the main event for the featherweight championship of the world as Elias Bodigsdam takes on the very, very tough Ikram Aliskerov.
That was just the referee cleaning up some water out of an abundance of caution. Very nice move on the referee's part. If Hanekom's weight cut has hurt him, we're going to start seeing it in this round.
Round 2 is officially underway in the black and the red. That's Aliskerov in the black trunks with the white underneath. That is Chad Hanekom. Right down the middle. I mean, you can't get more direct than that with the 1-2s. He leaves himself up to a potential takedown, but Aliskerov just unable to get the big man off his feet.
Aliskerov clearly wants no part of the striking game. He's looking for a takedown, but he's not finding it. In fact, he's finding a knee in his ribs.
And this has to be something that's very frustrating to Aliskerov, not being able to get the takedown here and bring this fight down to the ground. Normally, he has no problems doing so, but Hanekom is a special human being here, and he's just not giving it up.
He's doing a very credible job of keeping the opponent pinned on the fence, but as you can see, once you do anything with that fence pin, it gives the opponent an opportunity to escape. I think that's what we're going to see here in fairly short order.
Hanekom nearly had a takedown of his own, but Aliskerov able to get away, and once again going right back to that leg, and that leg is getting a certain shade of red there, that left lead leg of Aliskerov.
I think Hanekom was very, very slick against the fence. I think he faked the single in order to get off the fence, and it worked.
He wants a takedown of his own, but to Aliskerov's credit, he has not given that up.
There's a beautiful symmetry between Hanekom and his coach. It's not available. It's not evident on the television broadcast, but from where we're sitting right here, you can see the fighter respond to the spoken commands of his corner.
Yeah, they do a great job there at Fight Pit Militia of listening to their coaches, and it's been a big part of their success.
It's not an accident that the fight is taking place right by Hanekom's coach. That's a strategy that the coach has drilled into him.
Gentlemen, more action, please.
Aliskerov, of course, would much rather be on the far side of the fence listening to his coach, with his opponent out of reach of that second source of information.
Actually, you're not getting a whole lot of instructions right now. I'm looking across the cage here at the corner of Aliskerov. They're not really barking out a lot of instructions, just kind of letting him do his thing at this point. Of course, Aliskerov fighting out of the Fight Club champion in Russia, and then, of course, KHK MMA in Bahrain. Paulo de Oliveira is going to break them up. Not a whole lot of action. He wants to see more. And here we go, 2 minutes to go.
Excellent timing by the referee. Hanekom showing beautiful head movement. This is a beautifully trained fighter.
Hanekom actually leaving South Africa for his last fight as well, going over to the States and picking up a victory. Right down the middle, here we go. Big right hand from Chad Hanekom. They call him Superman. Let's hope he doesn't meet his kryptonite tonight here in Aliskerov. Ooh, and a beautiful jab from Aliskerov. That one definitely connected. Oh, what a beautiful combination. Hanekom responds with a right hand, and he's going to try to bring this thing down to the ground and take a break from the stand-up.
When you take a shot to the body, it's cumulative. It almost never completely goes away. Headshots last 5 to 10 seconds. You're seeing Superman very smartly slow the fight down while his head clears. In 2 or 3 seconds, he's going to be right back to normal.
The King Hussein Sports City in beautiful Amman, Jordan. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here the last few days. And now finally we get down to the nitty-gritty, and these fans have been waiting and waiting for Brave to show up. And now finally happening. So many Jordanian stars and heroes on this card. Aliskerov, it looked like he was going to end up on top. They scramble and they're right back to their feet. Are we going to see more of that crisp stand-up from Aliskerov? He kind of got some confidence midway through this round, but Hanekom is going to close the distance, push it up against the fence, and now Aliskerov switches it up, and there's the takedown. Dagestani right on top and into the guard of Hanekom. Hanekom has his knee up, trying to block any sort of transition. Final moments in round number 2, as that may have finalized the round. And maybe
different strategy, or he needs to successfully resume his striking strategy. I'm incredibly interested to see what happens.
And here we go. On our scorecards, we're looking at 1 round apiece. So this is the 3rd and final round. We'll see who takes this fight, or even if it gets to a decision at all. Both men extremely hard hitters. This fight could end very, very quickly, folks.
I want to give a little shout out to the staff here who are making sure there's no water on the floor. There's been any number of big bouts that were adversely affected by water on the mat. This is an extraordinarily well-run event, and little touches like that are just one sign of it.
It looks like we are ready to resume our opening bout of Brave Combat Federation number 10, 3rd and final round. This middleweight matchup, Aliskerov and Hanekom. Hanekom is coming out aggressive, looking for the 1-2 right down the middle, and I've seen him stop opponents before with that. That right hand is nasty.
Hanekom's coach has clearly talked him into trying the same strategy that worked in the first round, and that was an excellent job of backing out of the clinch.
You don't want to see him overextend and just continue to go after that 1-2, because Aliskerov has great lateral movement. We see it right now. He's looking for a takedown. Hanekom is definitely getting a little weary. A guy that has great conditioning, but he's definitely feeling the effects of the past 11 minutes of fighting.
Aliskerov is slipping that right hand fairly predictably. I think you're going to see Superman switch at some point and tag him with an elbow. For that to happen, of course, the two fighters have to separate. Superman's done a very good job of doing that when he wanted to. I think you'll see it in the next 15 seconds or so.
Continuing just to bully Hanekom into the cage, into the corner. And here we go, he switches out just as you said, Kirik. Now we'll see if we get a little offense out of the South African. Big swing and a miss. Both men missing with huge right hands.
Aliskerov is showing some fatigue too. That's going to slow his reflexes. I think Superman's going to really try and land that right hand now.
Yeah, both men kind of breathing out of their mouth right now. You can definitely see the fatigue. Going to the body, trying to piece him up. Moving forward progress is going to Hanekom, but swinging like a wild man is Aliskerov. He fends it off again. We'll see if Aliskerov can somehow drop down and change levels and bring this fight back down to the ground.
Just trying to hang on you the whole time. Under the chin. Don't run to the left. Run to the
Of course, Hanekom, a very successful rugby player before he emerged into mixed martial arts. And once you're an athlete, you're always an athlete. Rugby, one of the toughest sports in the world.
Run to your left. Just one more. Yes. Run to the right.
Cyrus, people talk about wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Sambo as being the best basis for MMA, but rugby looks like a pretty good one to me right now.
Absolutely. And there we go. Now going on the offense, a barrage of shots from Hanekom, but quickly getting underneath is Aliskerov, and back to the fence we go.
I think Hanekom is looking for a takedown to wow the judges, but I think his real strategy here is to land that big right hand.
But every time that Hanekom misses on one of those strikes, Aliskerov's making him pay, quickly getting him up against the fence, and you feel like he could be that much closer to a takedown, which in a fight like this could cinch the round. 90 seconds to go, and there is another takedown from Aliskerov. Quickly trying to scramble is Chad Hanekom.
The minute you can connect those hands together just below the hips, the takedown's pretty much a foregone happening, and that's what you saw right there. Now we need to see whether Aliskerov tries to pass the guard or ground and pound. He's got an interesting strategic choice here.
As you can see, controlling right now on the bottom is Hanekom, and he's kind of looking for a stand-up. He'd like to get a stand-up, of course. But you're talking about being underneath a very accomplished Dagestani combat Sambo champion in Aliskerov. I mean, this guy's good at what he does. He's been doing it for so many years, staying on top of your opponent, and he's just doing a great job right now.
There's 6 distinct strategies that you can employ from the guard, and against a wrestler of Aliskerov's caliber, all 6 of them are very, very, very difficult.
30 seconds to go. It's do or die time here for Hanekom. Aliskerov on top. Not doing much damage, but you definitely don't want to end the round on your back.
He's getting riding time, landing a few shots. That's the 10-second mark.
And final seconds will elapse, and we will go to a decision just like that. Send it up to Carlos Kramer.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a way to begin the night. We go after 3 rounds to the judges' scorecards. We have your first judge, 29-28 Hanekom. Judge number 2, 30-27 Aliskerov. And your winner, judge number 3, scores it 30-27. Your winner out of the blue corner, Ikram Aliskerov.